Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Basic Treble podcast, the podcast with a lot of talk about music and a little bit of swearing. My name's Ashish. I'm your co-host.
And this is Nirupama. So today's topic is okay. Right before we get on to today's topic, we have this tradition where we do a random question a week just to get things started. So I think Ashish is going to take the random question this week.
Favorite app
Favorite
on the laptop of
app?
favorite app
Um,
of all time.
Bro, I think I'd have to say Discord. I definitely have to say Discord
Discord.
because it does everything. Okay, like you can play songs in Discord, you can text people on Discord, and like I think it's a very nice platform that way. And you can also have like a lot of filters, like if you don't want somebody, and you know, like we have this Discord channel now, and you can assign roles to people. um
Mm.
so yeah, I think it's a very nice platform that way. And like it's
And most
yeah.
importantly, whoever's listening can follow the Basic Treble on
Yeah,
Discord.
we've got a Discord community. Now we'll attach you an invite and do join us. We have discussions about music, and well, there are 10 people on the server, and I think that's pretty nice as of now. You can suggest podcast ideas. You can come and listen to music. Everybody's welcome. So yeah, do join us.
Yay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Start
Yeah.
the
What's your
episode.
favorite app or software?
My favorite app or
Bro, I
software.
think my software would be MATLAB. Seriously. It's
MATLAB.
so good, bro. It can graph, you can have circuits on it. Like, I think the software just like you can't get better than it. Like, you can do so much, so powerful, and it's like seriously costly. Join PS, they give you a free MATLAB license. Yeah, but yeah, go on.
Join PS. So pay for full college, then you get a free app. Nice.
Bro, it's like four and a
Uh,
half lakhs.
my, mine will be probably Reddit. That app is mad. There's so much shit on there, and it's really fun.
That's nice.
You just like browse through different communities, and you see like all kinds of posts, and it like varies. It's like nice stuff, just like cutesy animals and shit like that. And then you go to the other side, it's just mad Karens and mad peeps and all those morons there. Like brilliant.
Yeah, I like Tumblr. Tumblr is nice.
I've never really gotten into Tumblr
Oh
at
no,
all.
I
I,
have
I,
I have like three Reddit accounts I never
what
use. I couldn't figure out how to post on Reddit. It was too confusing. Tumblr is a lot easier. It's like repost everything.
Oh yeah, but on Reddit, you don't want to have three accounts because you want to get all your karma on the same account.
I
Otherwise,
don't know
you'll
how
get
that
like
works. Like I'm just okay.
yeah.
So this week we started thinking about what we could do, and we decided to go with Pink Floyd. So a little about Pink Floyd. It's right off Wikipedia. Pink Floyd is an English rock band. They were formed in 1965 in London, and they were mainly identified as a psychedelic pop group, and they were distinguished for their extended compositions, sonic experimentation, philosophical lyrics, and elaborate live shows. So they were founded by students Sid Barrett, who was on the guitar and the lead vocals, Nick Mason on the drums, and Roger Waters on the bass guitars and the vocals, and Richard Wright on the keyboards and vocals. David Gilmour, who is one of the most famous members, joined in December 1967. Barrett left in 1968 due to deteriorating mental health, and Waters became the primary lyricist. So they performed a lot of film scores. They were, I mean, I think they're one of, I think every rock band, every rock listener or rock band is most definitely heard of Pink Floyd. So I think okay, so if when I say Pink Floyd to you, what do you picture first?
Dark Side of the Moon.
Mm. So you mean you picture the white light and the triangle representing and the
Yeah, like, I think of that album.
right, right. That's
It's so like iconic Pink Floyd. Like if someone asks you like, what kind of music Pink Floyd made, you would just like give them that
yeah. I
album
think I would
because
I
it's
would
so,
do that.
it sort of covers their entire range, and it's such a great
Mm-hmm.
album in it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean that's. I think every Pink Floyd song was very distinct. It had like a big signature to it that way.
Hmm.
Yeah. They're classified under psychedelia and progressive rock. The active years were from 1965 to 1995, 2005, 2012 to 2014. A little about their discography.
Started with The Piper at the Gates of Dawn, A Saucer Full of Secrets, More, Umagama, Atom Heart Mother, Middle, Obscured by Clouds, Dark Side of the Moon, Best Album,
Ah,
Wish You Were Here, Animals, The Wall, The Final Cut, A Momentary Lapse of Reason, The Division Bell, and The Endless River.
yeah, I think they have 165 Pink Floyd songs, and okay, so what is I think your favorite album is very clearly, you know,
Yes,
The Dark Side
Dark
of the
Side of the
Moon.
Moon.
I think my favorite album would be Dark Side of the Moon, Wish You Were Here, or Division Bell. Yeah, and
Wish You Were Here has Wish You Were Here has my favorite song because that song Wish You Were Here as a song is really
I think that
nice.
was the first Pink
But
Floyd song I listened to.
was it like as a Pink Floyd song, or like did a band play it in
No, no,
school
no.
and you sort of
So
heard it through?
when I joined college, my guitarist was he loves Pink Floyd. Okay, so he told me, and it's just Wish You Were Here. He would listen to the song so often. So he told me, hey, you know what? Can you sing this? And I was like, what? So I went and listened to the song, and the first time I listened to it, I'm going to be really frank, it didn't quite hit me. Like I was like, okay, this is my
Hmm.
song, all right, cool. But then I just started listening to it a lot more, and I think that's a very iconic song to me. Like that's there, and then there's Coming Back to Life and Have a
Which song was
Cigar.
it? Was it no, the first song was which song again? The first song that you heard?
Wish You Were Here.
Wish You Were Here. Okay, okay. Yeah.
And then yeah, Coming Back to Life, and then I think I listen to a lot of Pink Floyd, just like chilling. Like I don't need to be doing anything.
Hmm.
So yeah, I think they were signed to a whole lot of labels as well. They were signed to EMI Columbia, Tower, Harvest Capital, Columbia, Sony Music, EMI, and Parlophone. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think okay. So let's. What's the most iconic thing about Pink Floyd to
The most iconic thing for me was that they were the first rock band that I heard with saxophones in them. And I don't think there's most like rock bands have usually been, heavy guitars, lots of distortion, drums, stuff like that. And this was like the first rock band that I've heard that actually put in like saxophone, they put in jazz elements, they put in sort of classical elements as well in their
you?
songs,
Mm-hmm.
which was very unique, very new.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that kind of stands out about Pink Floyd, right? It's a lot of synth, if I'm not wrong.
Mm.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's the reason a lot of people consider it to be psychedelic.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Also,
yeah,
like,
go.
no, but even like at the time that the music was made, I don't think it would be a stretch to say that Pink Floyd members were using when they made these songs. So it sounds like psychedelic and sort of the music you'd hear if you were doing a lot of drugs, because I'm pretty sure like that's what they were
Yeah,
doing.
that's actually true. So I don't know who it was. There was this Pompeii concert. Those
Hmm.
guys looked wasted, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I watched the whole concert, and those guys, they're out. But
No, but
that became a
even
documentary and everything.
yeah, and like that point when Pink Floyd did come, it was sort of that phase where people were moving from jazz and sort of these big bands and this sort of Beatles style music
Mm-hmm.
towards more classic rock.
Yeah, I think that was the transition between Beatles and um, guys like not ABBA, but 80s pop, if that makes sense.
Hmm.
Like Rick Astley and George Michael. There we go. That's the
Yeah.
legendary George Michael mention of the podcast for today. But I think people were moving a lot onto this kind of stuff from the Beatles, and I think Pink Floyd was a major transition there. You know, there was Zeppelin and Pink Floyd almost parallelly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was just reading about the Pompeii without the audience. So you know, they made a documentary out of it. I think the documentary is about 1 2 hours long, and they had no audience. And he made so they said that they'd had enough of concert films. So the main idea of the film was to do an anti-Woodstock film. So there was a Woodstock festival in 1969, and I think this happened at 1972, right? So they
Yeah.
wanted to do something where there would be nobody present, and the music and the silence and an empty amphitheater would mean as much as a million, millions of people. So this was, yeah,
Yeah.
it started in 1971.
Oh.
So the whole reason was to do. I think Woodstock was like the hippie festival. I think Woodstock 1969 was crazy popular and everything, right?
Yeah.
So
But Woodstock as well, like even now, if you like have Woodstock stuff, like banners, CD covers, stuff like that, that sells for a lot of
yeah,
money
yeah.
now.
I think
Because
Woodstock was a crazy popular. I think '69 was the most iconic year they had.
yeah, you had Woodstock, you have Live Aid, which again was a crazy popular one. Even though it does happen now, right? I think Live Aid still goes on
Live
now,
Aid goes on.
but
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, but the 80s and 90s Live Aid was insane, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like the amount of crowds that they had at that time,
Right.
God, it was amazing.
So,
So yeah,
very interesting fact about the Dark Side of the Moon. There was this little known band called Medicine Head, which released an album
mm,
just the year before they released Dark Side of the Moon, called Dark Side of the Moon. So they almost changed the name to Eclipse, a piece for assorted lunatics. A name influenced by Sid Barrett's departure from the band, right? So they decided not to abandon the name The Dark Side of the Moon because Medicine Head's incarnation wasn't commercially as successful enough.
mm,
And so apparently, Paul McCartney's voice did not make the final cut in, you know.
in
So it says Moshcam says the iconic voices appearing throughout the album were collected from a series of interviews with workers and musicians hanging around Abbey Road studios. So
oh yeah, yeah, because that album was
yeah,
in that studio, right?
exactly.
It was on a
So
studio
they
in
took off,
Abbey Road.
you know, McCartney's voice. That's actually very interesting. I did not know that.
Wow, dude. But I mean, like that makes a lot more sense because even on that album, the interviews are all like super deep stuff. So I didn't know that it was like from interviews or stuff like that. I thought it was just stuff that
Yeah,
they talked
yeah.
about.
Actually, I mean, I
Because
think
like
Pink
the
Floyd's got like a lot of story behind it.
hmm,
I read somewhere that "Wish You Were Here" was composed because of Sid Barrett's departure because of mental health.
oh, but the song sounds more like it was for like like a special partner or a special other one type of song rather than for a member
No,
of
no,
the
no.
band.
Because it sounds like a love song to a lot of people.
Hmm.
But I read so many years ago that I read 2 years ago that it's a tribute to Sid Barrett. It was a direct tribute, and yeah, it was basically, since Dark Side of the Moon, Pink Floyd members dealt with it in various ways.
Hmm.
So yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, it could have happened without him and couldn't have gone on without him was what they said. But yeah, they said that it was a tribute to Sid Barrett.
Oh, nice. But even their members' ability to write, is they've written some amazing music.
Yeah, yeah,
And
that's true.
like for example, Dark Side of the Moon was just mostly penned by Roger Waters.
Mm,
So
yeah.
he basically wrote the entire
Uh-huh.
album. It's insane to think about that one person could put out Dark Side of the Moon.
Right, right. So I think Pink Floyd broke up in 1984. I think 1984 is when.
No, but they also put out an album in 2014 though.
Yeah, no, that's the Pulse concert,
Not
right? I
back.
think they got back together for like, you know,
No, no, they put out an album in
what's
2014.
the album called?
The End of the Bells or
Uh,
something like that.
Division Bell was in 1984.
No, the Endless River,
Yeah, I think that was the this one,
2000.
dude. Pulse was that concert thing. Division Bell was 1994. Um, they did a concert in Pompeii in 2016, but
No, no. So this is a proper album. I just I'm on the page right
right,
now.
right,
So their final album. So it was with after the departure of bassist Roger Waters in the first one following the death of
right.
keyboardist Richard Wright.
Yeah, I think
So it's
Roger
a proper
Waters
album.
and so what happened is Waters took um, he called the group a spent force creatively, and he took Gilmore and
Mm,
Mason to court in 1986 to prevent them from
mm,
performing or recording as Pink Floyd. So it kind of caused the big fight between everybody, right? But then
mm.
he said he was wrong. I mean, with
No, I
what he
mean
did.
like yeah, I mean
So yeah,
obviously he was
I
wrong,
mean,
but like
Waters, Gilmore, and Mason reconciled, reuniting for a performance at Live 8 in 2005.
mm, mm.
Hmm.
No, but like I think this is a full-on problem in music where
I think that happened to the Beatles
having
also,
the
right? Paul McCartney
yeah like
claims he saved the Beatles.
yeah, I mean, like basically, it's like obviously, if you have the members, the band name doesn't really matter as much because you still have their creative inputs and you still be able to make music with
You
them.
know, that's.
The basic thing is like even if it did sound like Pink Floyd,
Mhm.
not many people would actually have heard of that because it's a new
I
band.
mean, Nick
Like
Mason's
it's
band,
not.
dude. Like, the band is called Nick Mason's Saucer Full of Secrets.
No, but then again, like if you were to go ask any rock fan or any sort of fan that listens to metal music, right? And you ask them, do you know who Pink Floyd is? They probably know it because
Yeah, yeah, that's
that
there. I
name
mean,
itself.
I didn't know
So,
of this until
but
Pink Floyd's page was promoting Nick Mason's band.
yeah, so that's the thing. So the name of a band itself provides so much power to
Yeah,
the
yeah,
artist.
that's true.
Even if the artist were to make separate or different kind of music, not being allowed to use a particular name to put to their own creative uh, I don't know how to call this, but if someone is going on their own thing and then making their own venture without this big band that actually made them famous, then yeah, like you're not going to hear it as much because it's a lot of money that is already spent to make something
Hmm.
huge that the studio or the club will not really spend that much money re-promoting them, re-promoting a new band unless that band already happens to be
No, that
famous.
makes sense. No, that's the same thing, right? I wouldn't listen to Pink Floyd if they all came back and did an album now, but you know Paul
Hmm.
McCartney from the Beatles, right? So in 2015 or something, he made a couple of songs with Kanye West and Rihanna and all that, right? I didn't
Hmm.
like it as much. I mean, I just like I don't listen to it anymore. I just listen to it a couple of times because it came on VH1. That's about it. I think
Yeah.
he made like four songs or something, two songs or something. So
Hmm.
yeah, I mean that's. But I think Pink Floyd is that one band. In my opinion, I can't get to the end of their entire list. So I was initially listening to their newer ones like Coming Back to Life, Wish You Were Here, High Hopes, and everything. Wish You Were Here is not so new.
Hmm.
But then I realized there's this band called Atom Heart Mother, which is really old, 1968 or something like that. So I started listening to them,
yeah,
and initially I was like, okay, it kind of grows on you that way. And then I started listening
yeah,
to stuff like See Emily Play, which is older than that.
yeah.
And I think that's
Like,
one band I really can't finish their discography so easily.
yeah, because I think Sid Barrett did have a huge influence on their style of music as well. Because if you see Sid Barrett's era of music, right, with Pink
Mm-hmm.
Floyd, it's very, very different compared to what most people know of Pink Floyd.
Right.
Just because no, because like even though he did leave Pink Floyd because of mental pressures, even then I think he had such a huge
Yeah,
influence
dude, he
on
definitely
Pink
did. I
Floyd.
mean, their lyrics for years after that were, I mean, I can see the impact he had on Floyd. So I mean, like his style of music was different, the genre was different, but he also impacted the way they wrote their music after he left.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, about their albums, they had 15 studio albums, 3 soundtrack, 3 live, 8 compilation, and 4 box sets. And
Mm.
as well as material to this day that remains unreleased during their 5-decade career. There is 217 songs on this list. Wow, that is.
No, but like I would be interested in listening to their unreleased stuff because they, you know how they found like David Bowie's unreleased stuff after he died, right? And it was
Mm-hmm.
supposedly like a thousand different pieces of music or samples, stuff like that.
Right, right.
So,
I think Sid
I would have
Barrett
loved to
was
say,
having the lead vocals. So, their first song was called Apples and Oranges, and the writer was Sid Barrett.
hmm,
The lead vocal was Sid
hmm,
Barrett, and it was released in 1967. So, until See Emily Play, which was the last song Sid Barrett did. Okay, not the last song, but it was released in 1967 as well. So that's when
hmm,
Gilmore started taking it from 1968 with Careful with That Axe Eugene. So yeah,
hmm,
Sid Barrett sang the Jugman Blues after that, and I think that was about it. Like after that, he stopped singing. And I think See Emily Play
hmm,
and Arnold Lane and Astronomy Domini and Interstellar Overdrive and stuff like that. Although
yeah.
Overdrive was a completely instrumental song, I think like the way he sang, I think it's a little different from the way Gilmore, you know,
Hmm.
came
Yeah.
up with the
Plus,
same songs.
at the time, there were college students,
Yeah, they were
you know,
architecture
so
students in London Polytechnic. That's when they met and they formed the band.
yeah, so I mean, like, obviously, as a student, your experience will not be the same as, someone who's 25,
Yeah,
30,
yeah, that's true.
and, and like, I'm pretty sure, like, at the time, they would also had, like, pressures from the studio to make an album that sells as opposed to just make an
That
album, you
that's
know?
true, but I
So,
really feel like the fact that after Sid Barrett left, yeah, it did affect their lyrics and everything, but it also affected their singing. I mean, because Gilmore started singing after that, you know,
hmm,
and that was there. And I just released. They have a song called "I'm a King Bee" in 2015. So they're by Slim Harpo. That was the lyricist. They was the writer for the song. But yeah, their last song was "Slippery Guitar" in 2019. David Gilmour instrumental.
but is that like a Pink Floyd
Yes,
song though?
that is
Or
the
is it
Pink
like,
Floyd. I mean, it's listed under Pink Floyd. The last
oh,
song, all 4 of them are listed as writers, is in 2016. It's called Work. It's an instrumental. It's called The Early Years. So I think it's just a remake of an older song. But I just
hmm,
opened this list and there are so many songs I've not even seen. Like
yeah.
that's there.
I mean, but like Pink Floyd in and of themselves were again like this again has to do with like at the time they were made. Like now, most of music has been saturated and simplified, but at that time, especially the climate then as well. Like you've just been done with World War II,
Hmm.
and
No man,
you
World
had
War
this
Two
sort of
was what, World War Two
No,
was
no, but all
1945,
that was
right?
happening. All that was happening at that time, right? So you had World War II, you had postmodernism, you had like proper,
Industrialization. I mean, that's when people were
uh,
starting to get computery and techie.
and people were starting to see their jobs sort of taken over by machines and stuff like that. Plus, at the time, you had the Cold War, which
The Cold War
again
was in the
sort of
80s, if I'm
increased.
not wrong, right?
What?
When was the Cold War, dude? I'm very bad at history, but Cold War
I'm
was
pretty sure it was,
1947 to 1991. Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
that's quite a long
So
time.
73, 73 would be like bang in the middle of
Yeah,
that time,
yeah,
you know.
that's true.
Plus like nuclear disaster, and then of course you had Reagan coming in at the time, and of
Reaganomics.
course uh, how could I forget hippie culture.
Yeah, I
At
think
the time it
60s
was
was like the
huge.
complete. Yeah, I think it's very tough for a band to compose something that stoners and non-stoners relate to. I think that's
Hmm.
one very outright or blatant fact about Pink Floyd that way, because a lot of people related to them.
No, but again, like I don't really do any drugs, but I still love their
Yeah,
songs,
same,
you know.
same.
No, because so this isn't Pink Floyd, but this is System of a Down. They have a song called "This Cocaine Makes Me Feel Like I'm on this song." I think that's the perfect way to describe Pink Floyd.
Right.
Like they make you feel like you're on drugs, even though you're not.
Yeah, that's
So the
true.
song
I
is
mean, they're
so
psychedelic,
happy.
and I think they stand by psychedelic for most parts. Bro,
Hmm.
that synth is trippy, okay. And I think yeah,
Yeah.
the 1994 is when they had their Division Bell album come out, and that's when Coming Back to Life and A Great Day for Freedom, and that's exactly when the Cold War ended as well. You know,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
yeah, and they had the rest of it right in the middle of the Cold War. So I think another brick in the wall is probably the most popular Pink Floyd song. At least among most people
Yeah.
I know, people absolutely love the song.
Oh, and I have a personal story on that. So in ninth standard, okay, we had this guy in our class. I'm not going to name him, but I'm sure anyone from school will know this guy, right? So he used to sing this song,
Right.
okay, and he would like even in the middle of class, not when teachers are there, but like between classes, he would just stand up and he would just be singing this song out loud, and he would just in the middle just be like, "Hey, teachers, leave them kids alone." Okay, he would like literally sing that out, but the way he said it, it sort of sounded like, "Hey, Tejas, leave them kids alone." I had a guy called Tejas in our class. Every time he's trying that, people like, "Hey, Tejas, leave them kids alone." What do you do?
That is that's pitiful, dude. But it's so cool that people in like your ninth standard and all used to listen. I used to listen to all pop music when I was in ninth grade, dude. Like I never listened to like any Pink Floyd and stuff. Maximum I went to was like Guns N'
No,
Roses.
no, but even like that song is less about we're ninth graders that listen to rock and more of like, hey, teachers suck, man.
Yeah, I think
This song tells me that teachers suck.
that's that's true. Like I don't think he was like a big Pink Floyd fan at the time, if I'm not wrong. I hope I'm wrong,
Yeah,
but like I really feel like he was just singing it because he was annoyed at school.
yeah, more or less. No, but his taste in music was like very, very wide. So he would listen to Maroon 5, he would listen to who's that band who not Green this thing, but
Green Day,
who's that big pop band? No, no, no,
One
not them.
Direction,
No, 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 the older band, dude, the band that made the song Yellow. Those guys,
Coldplay.
what are they called? Coldplay, yeah. So he would listen to them also.
Bro, who
So
was this
like,
guy,
he,
dude? I
he
used
like,
to listen to Maroon 5 and Coldplay when I was in ninth standard. So, yeah,
yeah.
I
So
think another mention is Shine on You Crazy Diamond. Bro, nine
that song is
parts to
so
that
cool.
song.
Yeah, and on Spotify, you have all nine parts in one big thing, and it's like 26 minutes long.
Yes, exactly. And I think that's
Oh, yeah,
so nice. Like, there are a few bands like Tool and Zeppelin, and I think Floyd definitely falls under the category. So you know how
Hmm.
Tool Tool's any of Tool's albums, I think his name's Keenan, right? James Michael
Hmm.
Keenan. No, wait.
Yeah. James Michael
No, no,
Keenan.
no, no, no. Wait. Oh my God. Yeah, Maynard James Keenan. Why did I say James Michael Keenan? Maynard James Keenan. The lead vocalist of Tool says that all of his albums are an experience. Like, you shouldn't listen to one song. I mean, the ideal way to listen to it is you listen to the album from start to end. Like, you don't listen to one song and be like, yeah, I'm gonna listen to this later. And I think Pink Floyd is a lot
Yeah.
that way. At least,
Yeah.
if I could say Shining You Crazy Diamond, bro, that's like an album by itself. Like, most albums are 26 minutes long these days.
Yeah. No, probably longer than like most albums are like 40,
No,
45
bro,
minutes
what?
in Indian.
Every song 3 minutes,
Yeah.
7, 8 songs.
No, no, they're usually like 13, 14 songs, man.
Yeah,
Like
that's
with
true, but
like
like a small album.
filler.
But yeah, I think the Division Bell is definitely one of the songs. So you start off with Cluster One, and then you listen all the
Mm,
way to What Do You Want From Me. And I think it's an
yeah,
experience that way. Like,
yeah. No, but talking about like album experience, this is a personal complaint. It's so annoying when you're listening to Pink Floyd or any other great band,
hmm
and then it just cuts to some shitty pop music and some Indian voice going, uh, "Me and the band have known each other for the last 20
yeah, me
years."
and the band have known each other since we were kids.
It's so annoying,
Dude,
man.
like,
Like just
okay, Spotify ads are the most annoying thing ever.
yeah,
I swear, dude, you're
like
listening, and bro, it's like, what is that? Some, do you want sauce? Do you want some rice? Do you want some
yeah,
pickle?
yeah. It's so annoying.
We get out of
And
the road
no,
and
and
play
like
our music loud and clear. Oh my god, dude.
no, like can Spotify at least like make like a list of good bands to not
No, you know
interrupt?
what? If they
I
give
mean,
me 30 minutes of ads, they have that promise. Like, if you watch a really shitty ad, they'll give you 30 minutes of
yeah,
music ad free. That doesn't happen to
that
me,
won't
dude.
happen.
17 minutes, I hear some.
Yeah,
Me and the band have known each other. Bro, I
dude.
can't.
Plus, they have actively started putting video ads in
Mm.
the desktop. So if you have that thing up, as soon as the ads play, you actually get like a video playing as well.
Bro,
So
the best thing to do is close the Spotify app and then open it again.
yeah,
But
yeah. No, no. I
okay,
just like
like if
no.
Spotify is listening, give me 30 minutes of ads, I don't have a problem. But like the album, just let me listen to it in peace.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's.
Or 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 like if it's like a great band, don't interrupt at all. Just
No,
go
I
away.
think, look, I
You know?
completely. Oh, God, okay. So basically, I completely understand that they have to make money and like profits and stuff,
Hmm.
but dude, come on. Um,
No, but also right, like if you're talking about money in the music industry, most artists make their money off of licensing their song to like brands and ads and stuff like that. So they don't really make as much money from streams or from like if they were to give their songs away for free,
Bro, but
they
see, I
would not
completely
lose that
understand that
much money.
Spotify wants people to join Spotify Premium. And I know those guys, those four people in the band, work in the same bar and they've known each other since they were kids. And they go on like really cool road trips and they buy Spotify Premium, but we're broke. We're not going to buy Spotify Premium. And I know those
Yeah,
people go for like
exactly.
these fancy dinners where somebody's so nice to ask them whether they want pickle and they get annoyed with that. And I know, dude, I can't do it. Spotify is honestly the most annoying thing ever. But like I
Yeah.
understand they need to make profits though. Like if they give me 15-20 minutes of continuous ads, whatever, I listen to the same four guys from the band over and over again. But I just don't want ads when I'm listening to my songs.
Dude, even for songs like I mean, like if they could offer like the bands a chance to do this, Because most bands don't make that much off of Spotify. It's basically like Spotify takes like 80% of the stuff they get, and bands
Hmm.
get like a tiny amount of that stuff. So if like bands only could just come in and be like, no ads for us,
Oh no,
it's fine.
if something, see,
It's so
that's the thing, right? Most of us get Spotify free. I think a really viable solution, if I'm not very wrong, would be ask the bands to come and do a promo. Like, just be like, hey, you know what, you're a band. Why don't you come and tell these people to take Spotify Premium? Or be like, dude, if
Eh,
David Gilmour comes on like my Spotify and he's like in the middle of the album, he's like, thanks for listening to my work. Subscribe to Spotify
I mean,
Premium. I probably will consider it. He's way more convincing than those four guys from the band, or that woman who was lighting stuff around her house, or that guy who's getting pickles.
all those four guys and the women, all of them will probably cost less than David Gilmour.
Bro, but if they promise him a little more profit, I think. But at least like even local artists stuff I know, bro. Why do you get guys like David Gilmour?
See,
Why can't you get smaller guys? Why can't you get, I don't know.
no, but like if it was like actual genuine ads, like, hey, we are so and so band, we have a new album out,
No, they
uh,
do that. They
and
do that, bro. Some Diljit Dosanjh, some music,
no, fuck,
little preview of that music. I'm like, I don't listen to this. They know I
no,
listen to
but
rock.
no,
I think of rock,
but
and that
what
suggestion
if
is
like the
there in
big
my
artist?
Spotify.
Yeah, exactly. So like, if they could take that stuff and just give us bands
Yeah,
in
yeah,
those things,
makes sense.
like, don't give us like fucking Imagine Dragons or shit like that, but like give us like smaller indie rock
Yeah, if
bands
I
who are
discover
like,
an
hey,
indie rock band and
yeah,
that indie rock band tells me to subscribe to Spotify, I'd be interested. If they give me a Punjabi song and
yeah,
I have never
that would
heard a
still be
Punjabi
cool.
song in my life, I will not be interested.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think that makes
I mean,
sense.
like they have all of the stuff. I mean, they basically give us like daily playlists for free.
That's true.
Like use that for your ads.
That's true. I mean, if they say that you can custom, we'll give you daily playlists, we'll give you better playlists if you do take Spotify Premium. I think I'd be in.
Mm.
Like if Spotify has openings, I'll apply, bro. I have so many nice strategies for them to use. I'm sure they'll increase their Spotify Premium base.
And the
Yeah, those four
profit
guys from the
margins.
band, they might get unemployed, but like I don't care. They're really annoying.
Yeah, I mean, like we don't even know if they make good music. They're just four guys
And
in a
that too, they
band.
work in the
Who
same
are fucking-
bar and they go on road trips and all. I don't know how much time they dedicate to their music.
Plus, they work in a bar. Like, how good can you be, man?
No, they're probably really good, bro. Maybe they're some undiscovered band. I know, like, but they're annoying. They're seriously annoying.
Yeah, super annoying. That's so annoying,
Hey,
man.
I'm listening to my
Uh,
album and these guys come. Yeah, I don't know, like, that's there.
yeah. Anyway, back to
Yes.
topic after that massive Spotify ad pick. This was our rant about Spotify ad
Yeah, I
breaks
mean,
to
if
hopefully
Spotify has openings, I'm
get them
I'm
to
willing
stop.
to leave college only and come like this. Right.
I mean, if they have a massive sign-on bonus, then yeah, maybe okay, we'll accept.
Yeah, if they give me Spotify Premium and promise me no ads ever again, and I'll work for free only, dude. It's fine. Screw
I'm not
it.
as cheap as her. Like, I want a
Yeah,
huge
you want all that.
sign-on bonus.
It's fine. Like, I don't have ads.
Dude, you could probably buy Spotify Premium if you don't like sign-on bonus. You can literally pay the four guys and their band to fuck off to the side.
So
Oh
yeah,
man.
let's.
Pink Floyd. Let's get back.
So apparently, couple of facts about Pink Floyd again. Waters, Mason, Wright were architecture students. They met in 1963. Lead singer Sid Barrett named the band by fusing together names of two East Coast bluesmen known for their bass-driven finger-picking style of play, Pink Anderson and Floyd Council. So
Hmm.
they were signed after Arnold Lane. It's very tough to pronounce that. First concert was London's Hyde Park on June 29th, 1968. And Nick Mason is the longest running member of the band. I think drummers are generally
Hmm.
like that, no?
Yeah.
That's
No, but then also it like depends because uh, I don't know, like personally, being in a band, drummers usually get the shit.
That's
You
true.
know, they usually
That's
get the
actually true.
shit, and so either like the drummer knows everything and is like the secret leader of the band, and he basically runs everything, or
Might I point
they are
out, like, I
constantly
feel like
getting.
Ringo Starr is like, he's very underrated that way. Apparently, Pink Floyd just generated a series of venue bans because they were playing around with pyrotechnics and inflicting damages. Speaking of pyrotechnics, Metallica had this. You watched the. I hope you watched the video. Metallica had this. Let's play a prank on our fans thing, and people started
Hmm.
burning up on stage.
Oh shit.
Yeah, no, that's a bad idea.
Yeah, it's always a bad idea to play with fire on
Yeah,
stage.
man, and they wanted to do as a prank, and like, I think Lars was the one who ended up getting burnt or something.
Hmm.
So yeah, I think that's very sad. I think a
Yeah.
couple of these bands are banned. A lot of bands are banned from Russia or something.
Who? These
No,
guys?
Ray, not Pink Floyd. Who will
No,
ban Pink Floyd, bro?
no, but that's what I was asking. Like, who's banned here?
So apparently, these guys, the kids in Another Brick in the Wall Part 2, 2004, all these school kids had become adults. They filed a lawsuit against the band.
What?
Yeah,
Why?
because they're like, we want to get paid.
Should have just hired them as like roadies for the band. Just like
Bro, in 2004, these
carry
kids
the
were adults by then.
carry the. Yeah, but still,
Yeah,
band
that's.
is still there. You just hire them like you can't get jobs. Fine, join us.
I'll go do it. Anyway, looks like I'm also
You go for
unemployed
everything.
only.
Spotify Premium also will go. Pink Floyd also will
No
go.
payment.
Everyone would go. And you'll just be sitting there with like 10 different laptops doing 10 different
That's
jobs.
true.
All of it for free.
Intern. That's the official term.
Mm. Intern for life.
Yes.
Oh man.
But anyway,
Okay.
yeah. Last question.
To, to end it, what is your most controversial opinion fact about Pink Floyd?
You can't listen to their songs once and like it. I think you gotta listen to their songs a couple of times to really understand it and really start liking it. It kind of
Hmm.
grows on you that way. And I think Pink Floyd
Yeah.
would be everybody's cup of tea if they actually gave Pink Floyd a chance.
Hmm.
What about you?
Yeah, I think so. I think Pink Floyd gave birth to the underground disco movement, a type of music. Like if you hear some of their experimental synth
Right,
pieces,
yeah.
right?
Possibly. I think it gave birth
Basically
to
sounds
synth pop. Is that a
yeah
genre
like
or am I making that up? Maybe. Yeah, but it did.
no, it basically sounds like toned back dubstep to a
Yeah,
certain extent.
yeah. I think that's actually a very interesting opinion.
Yeah, I think Pink Floyd gave birth to dubstep in their own way.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense. All right, so let's wrap it up. Today we spoke about Pink Floyd. This was a great episode. I think we learned a lot, and yeah, it was a good episode, of course. Um, this is your co-host Nirupama and Ashish. Do join our Discord. It's new. We discuss music. We listen to music on there. We'll attach the link. So, yeah, we don't have ads on our Discord unless you probably messed up your Discord somewhere. But yeah, do like, share, and subscribe to the Basic Travel Podcast. If you want to write to us, if you got anything to say, if you want to guest in the podcast, if you want to be a part of the podcast, do write to us and we'll get back to you. Thank you and have a good day.